Oh, we're getting ready. Yes.
Snowmageddon coming at you.
Yes, sir.
Well, actually, I think it's coming. Now they're saying it's going a little bit north. I know it's coming towards us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, he works in his job. They have an office in Franklin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's in charge of like emergency stuff, and he's spent his whole day today kind of emergency prep for them down there.
Yeah. I couldn't believe he was on this sailing. I would have loved to have to meet him.
Oh, he was. So this was that thing.
Yeah. This was the Labor Day sailing
For
that he
Labor
was
Day.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, Scott. You're probably glad you didn't get to hang out with him. You get been in trouble.
Yeah.
When him and I sail together, it's never good news for anybody.
That's good.
Oh man, I thought Pete Weber died. They're just having him on the news. Okay, phew. He's a legend in because he's from Orson, where I grew up. He's from my like small town. They had him on the news, like, oh my god, did Pete Weber die? No, he's going to be a guest on the news tonight. I hate when they do that to me, like stuff like that. I mean, I'm not like a big Pete Weber fan, but he's just he's famous because that whole like meme.
Yep.
Oh, something went wrong. Let's give it another shot. What? There we go. Okay. Oh, we gotta go live on Instagram. I forgot we get to do Instagram tonight because there's only 2 people. Boom.
Nice.
Yay, there we go. Yeah, we got 3 people. We can't do Instagram because it cuts everybody's heads off because how it does everything.
That makes sense.
It's a mess. All right, here we go. So this is not gonna be for this Monday. It's gonna be for a week from Monday, the day I come back from Disneyland.
Sure. Yeah, send me the links and I'll share it also and do all that stuff.
Rock on, and we'll talk about your. Is it? Do you call it a website or a blog? So I get it right.
It doesn't matter. I find it interchangeable. I love writing my trip reports, as you can tell. So I'll call it a blog, but more of the website per se.
Okay. I stayed at that same Hilton too, and talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 2840 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're getting ready for an awesome week. I am taking the cross-country flight back home to St. Louis today after I know it was a fun weekend out at Disneyland running the 5K, the 10K, and the half marathon. And as we say, adios to the West Coast races for just a few, who knows how long, but those have always been fun. And I'm sure that right now, as I travel across the Rocky Mountains in that plane today, my belly is full of El Rancho del Zocalo because that is my favorite place to eat at Disneyland. And maybe some Blue Bayou if I was lucky. Definitely some Red Rose Tavern. That's why you go. I mean, you go to Disneyland to eat and maybe run. So I hope everyone had a great race weekend out at Disneyland. Hope you had a great weekend wherever you are. I know it's cold. It's the beginning of February. It's Groundhog Day, by the way. I didn't even think about that. It's Puxatawny Phil. You going to see your shadow? Not. I mean, let's get out of this snow. We've had some crazy weather about a week ago in the Midwest, the Mid-South, Southeast. Let's knock that stuff off, Phil. Let's get going. I see your shadow. Don't see your shadow. Let's have spring around the corner, whatever it is. But today, we're helping you out, man. We're doing a trip report, but we're talking cruising in general with the cruise man himself, Chris. Chris, down in Nashville, Tennessee. What's going on? Thanks for coming on the show. Happy Monday.
Thank you, Mike, for having me. It's an honor to be on your podcast.
Glad to have you here. So let everybody know, first of all, you have a website, so blog, where you are a very passionate cruise fan and cruise expert, because I see you all the time on the socials, and I just love reading whatever because you have very smart opinions on the latest cruise news and just cruising in general when it comes to Disney Cruise Line, because I'm a platinum cruiser. I love all the ships. I just love the Disney Cruise Life in general. But tell us about your site as we get going today and why Disney Cruise Line is so special to you.
Absolutely. So the website is dclcruisingdad.com. And back in 2022, I was really getting big into answering questions and being a pharmacist, I'm quite OCD and I have a lot of lists, a lot of to dos, and I enjoyed sharing my knowledge. And my wife, Sarah, mentioned, hey, maybe you should kind of put it together and start a website. I had no idea at all about building a website or anything like that. So I started to learn. And the first one I put together, I just didn't like the flow. So by March of 2023, the one that you see now is completely up and running. There's a couple different areas to the website that I love in particular. First, I have a first time cruiser page that lists basically anything and everything with Disney Cruise Line. Each ship itself has its own page. And then my pride and joy is my food photos. So I have a list of each ship, each restaurant, and then the standard menus and all the photos over the years. So real quick, some cruising background and how I got into Disney Cruise Line is our first sailing was back in 2014. My wife worked for a very small IT company, and her and the two bosses actually, as a bonus Christmas present, took us on a 3 night sailing on the Dream with our son Jake, who's Sarah, myself, and Jake. And that kind of got me interested in Disney Cruise Line. And then fast forward to 2018, that was our second sailing. We did that on the Magic, went to Key West, which I wish they bring back that port. And that had my daughter, who at that time was in the nursery. And so seeing Jake is at that time probably around 5, and seeing them interact with the characters, all the different offerings on the ship. Our son grew up in the Oceaneers Club and Lab, and we used to have to drag him out to go to meals. Now we never see him on the ship, and we require him to come to dinner. So it's a full 180. But seeing him grow up on the ships, and now my daughter getting to experience the same things, and the service, everything that Disney Cruise Line offers. You pick your own adventure where we'll get to send the kids away, and my wife and I will have a date night, go to Palo brunch. I just love overall what is offered on the sailing with what Disney provides, and then also the ability to kind of pick and choose what you want to do every day.
I'm still hung up on. I'm getting ready to go check out your site to see the food photos
Yeah,
because that's why we cruise. I mean, we cruise
yeah,
for the great service, the great destinations, Lookout, Castaway, all the good stuff, all the itineraries, but the food.
mhm,
I mean, let's go. So, but okay,
absolutely.
you mentioned something. It is that kind of when the kids kind of come up with Disney Cruise Line, they feel comfortable with everything. But let me kind of back up even one more
Mhm,
step. That first cruise that you got kind of as a reward, or the bosses took your wife and
mhm.
your family there. Were you guys Parks fans before that, or was it like your first kind of Disney thing, or like what was your connection to the Disney brand even before the cruise thing?
Yeah. So growing up, I think we went to Disney World maybe twice. We did go on a couple royal cruises. I have a great photo from 1994 on Sovereign of the Seas. And my mom, my
That's
dad,
an old
my
ship.
sister, and we all have matching yellow shirts to start the cruise. And I have another photo of the bunk beds that myself and my sister were on. And I have great memories of that sailing, with how much I enjoyed the kids club. Um, Fast forward, that was pretty much our cruising and our Disney experience. And once we kind of got bit by the bug on that second sailing, that really has been uh, Disney as our whole on any of our vacations. We in fact haven't I actually haven't taken my daughter. She is uh, 9 now, turning 10, and we haven't even been to the parks yet. And we are planning something like that eventually in the future. But right now, it's just Disney on the cruises.
What is funny is it's really too marketing with Disney, where in the like, early 2000s, the late 90s when they launched the Magic, and then shortly after the Wonder, everything was marketed as land and sea. Because I watch, I'm older than you, so I watch this channel in my office every day called Buzzer, and it's old game shows. And there's this
Mhm.
old game show they show every day called Classic Concentration, hosted by Alex Trebek. And one of the prizes they have
Ooh.
every day it's called the Bahamas. They call it the Bahamas Disney Cruise. Well, what it
Oh.
is, it's a 7-night vacation, 4 nights at Walt Disney World, 3 nights on the cruise. And that's how the Disney cruise was initially
Hmm.
marketed to everybody. You could do the 3 or 4 either way, like a 4-night cruise, 3 nights at Walt Disney World, or either way. But that's basically how I remember like my first experience was. And so a lot of people did the boat. So it's kind of interesting your take. I love how people have different entryways into things. And I think that's super unique. And I love that we get to talk about this. So I want to talk about this cruise we're going to talk into about Labor Day, about the
Hmm.
Dream. But I want to save a little time on the back end to talk about the ships, because you've done 15 cruises, and I want to get your take
Hmm.
on like favorite ships, favorite class, stuff like that, because that's you got a lot of experience there. So let's
Yeah.
dive into this cruise. We're gonna talk about a 3-nighter on the Dream. So
Yep.
uh, give us some detail how this cruise came together.
Yep.
Because it's always I'm always curious, like, why'd you decide to sail then? Why'd you pick the
Hmm.
ship? Why the itinerary? What was the genesis of the cruise?
Yeah. So there's with Labor Day, being a small business owner, PTO and days off are far and few between sometimes. So I always try to pair it with a holiday. So uh, my daughter and son's school in February always have that Monday on President's Day off. So we always sneak a 3-night cruise in February, and then we kind of end the year in August on a 3-night cruise. And the one in February has consistently been the Wish. So I really wanted to try to stay away from the Wish for that weekend. Also, I wanted to go to Lookout again. The first time was great, but we only got to explore one half of the island. And third reason for booking was my mother-in-law. She lives with us. We get along extremely well, and I wanted her to experience Disney Cruise Line. She hears me talk about it all the time. She has magnets on her fridge that we've brought home for her. So that was the goal of this sailing. And then with her being on the sailing, I wanted to get to experience a little more as Brooklyn gets older. I wanted one last Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique experience, get to see Grandma see it, Sarah see it, 3 generations. I was very, very excited. As we got closer, she got a little nervous about some of the seasickness. We kind of walked her way through it, and at the end of the day, she decided to kind of hold off. So we made a quick pivot, and we substituted Sarah's brother Ben, who lives in Fort Lauderdale. When we've sailed out of Fort Lauderdale in the past, he's actually picked us up from the airport, and we've gone to my favorite chicken place, Polo Tropical, which is for everyone in the Northeast. It's like the equivalent of a Boston market. They have basically rotisserie chicken, rice and beans, and then tons of sauces. It's outstanding. Every time we
Awesome.
go to Fort Lauderdale, we stop there. I am very excited about it, and very sad when they closed all the locations but the ones in Florida.
Yeah.
So
Dude, we should have done this show before my sailing in December. I was just there.
oh,
If we went to there was a place that hosts the Philadelphia Eagles. It's their official bar, but it was
oh,
right
cool.
next to a really killer ice cream place next
I
door.
wrote down your ice cream place
Yeah, it
for
was
us
like,
to try next
yeah,
time.
oh my god, it was so good. The little bar next door was pretty good too. But yeah, give me that place, the chicken. So go ahead. I didn't mean
Yeah,
to interrupt you, but
yeah,
man, that's why I
yeah,
love these shows. Somebody's going to win because of
yeah,
that. So good,
yeah.
good. Chris. Go ahead.
And what was awesome about August with Ben is that's his sobriety month. So he was celebrating 6 years of sobriety. So we kind of we brought him on the sailing with knowing that in mind. And got some special things as far as Palo brunch and stuff like that for him to get to experience. So we were very excited about that, and then I also got to get kind of talk to him about his perspective with WB. Sorry, Bill W. offered on the ship, and uh, his thoughts overall of being on a cruise ship that doesn't have a alcohol package. Whereas some of the other cruise lines that offer it, uh, people try to get their money's worth or feel like they're doing even better. So it's very interesting to kind of talk to him about that. And also, ironically, one of the members in his local group is a avid Disney Cruise Line sailor. So
Nice.
she was actually on the ship. So we got to meet and talk to her also. So uh, that kind of builds up this sailing. Second time going to Lookout, so we made a right when we get off the tram instead of going left, and getting to experience first time Disney cruise sailor.
Nice. So yeah, and that because I think everybody that sails, these itineraries, you always see the first thing in the morning, kind of that Friends of Bill W. And I'll be honest, like I didn't know what that was for years and years until I Googled it and I figured it out. But I love that there's a support group on there, and that's fresh start every morning, and it's kind of conspicuous. If you don't know, you
Mhm.
don't know, and it's I think that's an awesome thing, and I think that's awesome for Sarah's brother. Congratulations to him, and I love that you're supporting him that way. So let's dive into the details of the cruise. So embarkation, how and the old I haven't been on the Disney Dream in a long time. I was on the Fancy a couple years ago on an Eastern to St. Thomas and Tortola and stuff. Like, God, that's probably the best cruise I ever took. But the old sister ship, the old Dream, she's
Mhm.
the old reliable. I love it. So embarkation on the Dream. Well,
Yep.
first, no, before that, let's talk about the Hilton Marina. You stayed there the night
Yep.
before because I
Yep.
stayed there too, and I loved it. I thought it was except they had a wedding reception the night before,
Oh.
dude, in that courtyard. And I mean, it was like Cubano music, which is awesome,
Uh-huh.
unless you're trying to sleep. And there was a fire alarm in the middle of the night.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
it wasn't in the middle of the night. I got up at like 5. I got up like 4:30 to run, and the fire alarm was going off while I was on the treadmill. So for a lot of people, it was the middle of the night. My
Mhm.
wife was still sleeping. Everybody's evacuating. They had to come get us out of the gym. It was a whole hot mess. So people were fired up the next morning on the
Yeah.
bus. So it was a thing because of between the DJ, the Cubano DJ, and the wedding
Mhm.
reception of like 500 in the courtyard, and then a fire alarm shortly after. Yeah, people were not exactly happy, but I mean, other than that, I love the hotel. It was fancy, the food credit and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
what'd you think of that? I would not shy away from it. But
Yeah.
just hope you don't have a wedding reception.
Yeah, so that this was the second time that we've stayed there. Both times that we've gone out of Fort Lauderdale, we stayed at the Hilton. I wouldn't say I'm an avid Hilton member, but being a member, just even basic, it was nice. They give you that $20 credit, and they have that little breakfast nook downstairs that you were able to use it at. So I got some bagels and coffee to bring it upstairs. But the real idea and the reason why we stay there is I'm a huge component of Disney ground transfer. So to flash back to our first sailing out of after COVID, we used to stay at the at one at the hill at the Cocoa Beach, and right out of COVID, we used their transportation to get to the port, and of course, they stopped at all the ports, Disney being last, and we are panicking because we still need to get the on-site test done, and we actually thought we weren't going to make it. So fast forward, while we're waiting on that bus, we're learning about Disney ground transfer, and then I have not looked back. I pretty much will do it on every single one of our sailings, whether we're a group of three, group of four. Ironically, on the website, I have it actually broken down uh, by getting on the ship earlier on a 3 and 4 night sailing. It actually pays for itself because you're going to have to pay for transportation anyway. So I ran the numbers just on some basic ocean view or veranda rooms, and getting on the ship at 11:30 versus 1:30, and what that means per hour, and blah blah blah. If you're a numbers person, jump on over there. But we always will use Disney ground transfers. Then also, I don't have to stay up on check-in day and do it because they'll sign it for you. So there are tons and tons of benefits. Them grabbing the luggage out of your room and it shows up miraculously in your stateroom. Um, with the With the Hilton at Fort Lauderdale, we had two buses broken up by your last name, but with the port being, 15 minutes away, both buses are there way before they start calling any of the boarding group, giving you time to connect to the ship to Wi-Fi and heart everything that your heart wants to contend. So I enjoyed the Hilton. We stayed at a couple of different rooms inside the hotel, one overlooking the pool and one overlooking the dock in the back that has all the yachts.
Mhm.
So overall, I know right now they actually added a new hotel to Fort Lauderdale, the Omni, which I've looked at for our future sailings. Unfortunately, the those prices are quite high. And FYI, if you stay at you don't have to book through Disney Cruise Line to use ground transfer at any of these hotels. You could book directly. So always compare prices of Disney's price for the hotel versus your price. For example, the MCO Hyatt, I found about 50-50 time it's cheaper for me to book directly than to book directly through Disney, and we'll always use the ground transfer there because the check-in is phenomenal. So that's just a little soapbox. Sorry to talk about Disney ground transfers,
No, no, and
but
you're exactly right on it. I mean, I do this every day, and
yeah,
that Omni Hotel is a beast. That thing is
mm,
huge. I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't open yet when I was down in December for that Destiny media thing we got to go on and kind of preview.
mhm,
I mean, it wasn't a preview, but it was like something they sent us on. And but the cab driver was super proud of that hotel. He's like, "This thing's opening in a couple of weeks," and we're because the whole convention center but it looks like, I mean, it's, yeah, you're right, it's expensive. It's gonna be fancy. But yeah, I couldn't believe, because I'm used to transfers. I always transfer from Walt Disney World to Port Canaveral, 45 minutes. Telling you what, if that's all you're used to in your world, and then you transfer from the Hilton over to the
yeah,
ship in Lauderdale, it's 7-8 minutes. Like, you can see the ship from your room. I mean, it's like,
mhm,
boom, there it is. Like, there's the butt of the ship right there. Just you go down a couple streets, woo, woo, you're there. It's the best. All right, so what do you? I mean, you've sailed out of
mhm,
Canaveral and Lauderdale, Port Everglades.
yep.
I was impressed with Everglades. I like that
Oh
terminal.
yes,
Embarkation there is easy breezy.
I love the theming. I thought it was awesome with the Finding Nemo kind of under the water theming. It is a well-oiled machine there. It is probably just as good as Port Canaveral as far as getting you in and out and everything. They're really, I mean, I prefer the Fort Lauderdale because those sailings are typically a little cheaper, and yeah, the 15 minutes from the hotel a lot allows you to get a earlier flight on disembarkation morning versus looking at 11 o'clock and later in the day. So I think that's a huge plus. So either one I think is excellent. Now, of course, with the two terminals at Port Canaveral, one unfortunately is not as Disneyfied as
Mhm.
the other one, but comparing them, they're both outstanding. They make you feel like you're already on the cruise ship before you're on.
I agree. Is that now, as far as getting, so you've been on the Dream before, correct? This is like
Correct. Yes.
going on the Dream. So how do you guys? I always like to break down like because the kind of chunks of embarkation day, because
Mhm,
embarkation day is different than any other day. Because I think of it as like, what can you accomplish before the muster drill? Because that's kind of like
mhm,
muster drill, sail away, then you got dinner, and after sail away, then the cruise kind of starts. But it's kind of
yep,
chaos till muster. So how
mhm,
do you guys? I'm sure,
mhm.
because you've done so many cruises, you have kind of a system. What's your system from steady setting foot on the ship to muster? What do you guys try to accomplish?
Yep. So I would say a majority of our sailings, we are a buffet family. We'll go up. Well, actually, let me take that back. We are a pool family. So we will have our bathing suits on, go up to the pool deck, get a lounger, try to find one in the shade. Brooklyn is our water baby. She will be right in the water. I'll have her goggles with us and sunscreen ready once we're on deck. And once the grills open up, I'll grab hot dogs and hamburgers and then run to the buffet to grab some seafood, and then we'll all kind of just eat together while we're enjoying the pool. For this sailing, we actually did something different and did the sit down lunch, which was in animators. I think we've done the sit down lunch two or three times now. It's nice when you get on early to do it if you have nothing to do like as far as changing your dining or making reservations or anything like that. So you sit down, we sat down, got to kind of experience a nice sit down lunch. And then after the sit down lunch, uh, with the Dream coming at a dry dock since the last time we were on her, I wanted to take Brooklyn to the Oceaneers Club and Lab to check out the new area, the Mobile Web or Worldwide Engineering Brigade, which looks pretty much just like the Superhero Academy on the Wish class
Mhm.
ships. And then once we were done in there and kind of getting her all checked in, we our rooms were ready, so we went and got to explore our room.
Did they add the slide into the kids club under the Dream? Are they doing that for
N-
all? No, I was just wondering.
No, no, I
On
wish.
the wish class ships, that's like the cool. I mean, like all the adults want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we do during the open house. Like, I
Yes.
mean, I'm 6'3" and I go down the
Mhm.
slide. You know, it's
That we use the hand washing thing. Like I don't know why they don't have that all
exactly.
over.
If
Yes.
you want to save the world, you just put
Yeah.
those kind of hand washers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, people that don't wash their hands will wash their hands. It's like it's car wash. It's what it is for your hands. They're,
Yeah.
if you know, you know. Like you just stick your hands in there and it does all the work. Zzz, you know, you're done. Okay, so I love this because by the way, we haven't even mentioned. I gotta give a ding here. We haven't even mentioned that the biggest news of this cruise is that Scotty G was on this cruise. Scotty
Yes.
G, world famous celebrity, Disney Cruise Line personality, was on this sailing, but you guys didn't even cross paths.
No, I
I mean,
didn't. I usually will, I follow Scott and everything, but I try to unconnect to
yeah,
anything out in the world while on my sailing. So if he was posting stuff, I definitely didn't see it till I got back.
I mean, he probably had his entourage, you know, the five cameramen. He's a big famous vlogger now. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you guys stay in his wake. Okay, okay, so you did that. You had the sit down. Now, you did a little pool time. Does that take
Mhm.
your rooms ready? Okay, let's talk about your stateroom. What kind of stateroom you guys have? What do you think?
Yep. So we had we stayed in 8098, which was category 4B, a deluxe family ocean view stateroom with veranda. So
Very
with it being the deluxe, we got a little bigger room, and you could tell because we had absolutely no issues with uh, three adults in the room for with luggage and space. It was quite spacious. We were very pleased with that room and would definitely book it again.
Yeah, I have become well again because my kids, you know, my two daughters, 29 and 18, and you know, three women and me. I'm a very big fan of that word family in the
Mhm.
stateroom because you might think like that extra little bit of square footage doesn't matter. Oh, it matters. Get
Yeah.
it? Even if you're a family of four, the space is wonderful. So
Yeah.
just does it's not that much of an increase in cost over the length of the cruise.
Right.
Look at it. It's worth it. Okay,
Mhm.
so you guys, lead us through the rest of the first day so we can get
Uh,
we're going to talk about all this stuff.
s- so then we had a quick, let's see what we got here. So we went up for the pool, soft serve ice cream. Then we had the mustard drill. We were very blessed to be in the Buena Vista Theater. Thank you very much
Oh,
for not
that's
being
heaven.
in the sun.
Yeah,
That's
no
always
kidding.
very,
That's the best. You won the
yeah.
lottery.
You hang that, ring that bell. There you go. Yes, absolutely. We sometimes laugh. I want to book a room just based on where the mustard drill is.
I always sail in July. You're not kidding.
Um, so after that, we headed up to the sail away party. My standard for the sail away party is being one deck on top of the pool area, and we'll usually go starboard side just for consistency. We always love going and watching those shows, and then after that, we actually went to the front of the boat and kind of watched some more of the sail away.
Nice. It's the same place I go. I would go deck 11 on those ships, deck 11, starboard
Mhm.
side between the funnels. And
Yeah,
then I waved to everybody and said, look for me on the portcanaverwebcam.com or
yeah.
wherever Fort Lauderdale webcam, whatever it is.
And one thing that was really nice that I saw consistently throughout the sailing was um, the area in front of the stage. Like that whole area was roped off and required seating only. So
Hmm.
there were no strollers, no wheelchairs, and you had to be on your rumpus in that area, which I thought was awesome because then you didn't have to worry about kids on parents' shoulders or having issues seeing. So I was really excited. In future sailings, I talked to Sarah and Brooklyn and Jake about being down on the pool deck, sitting down and getting to experience some of the deck parties from a different angle.
That's great.
So I thought that was really cool that they started to do that and implement it. There were signs on all over so that people knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. I think it was
Well,
on Pirate Night also.
and that's Pirate Night can get nutty.
Mhm.
That's good. Now, were you guys on early dining or late dining?
We are early dining family, and we had early dining on this. Our first night was in Enchanted Garden down on deck two, and that has been one of my favorite menus. The sea bass with the risotto was is one of my favorite dishes. Now, this was the first time that they changed the fish to a, let me see if I pronounce this correctly, Corvina fillet, which wasn't as luscious as the sea bass, but it still was delicious. And I would say that and the scallop dish are my go-to to finish with the sticky date pudding to close out the entire meal.
Do they still have the ahi tuna appetizer?
Yes, yep,
Oh,
yep. They still have the Ayatuna Tower,
that's my
which
that's
is
my
which is
go-to appetizer.
outstanding too. Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
Mhm.
Little wasabi on the side. Oh my gosh, I love
Mhm.
that at Enchanted. That's a
Mhm.
cute little restaurant. I just like it's calm. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
It's a cute little place. I like it. All right. So
So.
yeah, but now wait.
Mhm.
Golden Mickey's is on the Dream.
Mhm. Yep.
Oh, I love the Golden Mickey's, and I for some
I,
reason I thought the Golden Mickey's was not. I thought it was on a different ship. Oh my god, you
and
got the Golden
she's on the
Mickey.
Wonder also. She's on the
Yeah,
Wonder
he knows on the
and
Dream
this
too. I
one.
thought it was only on
Mhm.
one ship. Oh, you got to see the Golden Mickey's
Yeah.
with Ensign Benson.
Yep. Yep. So
Oh,
the one thing that was interesting is I heard a lot because I listened to every Disney Cruise Line podcast that's out there. So I have notes about the Golden Mickeys, and I personally we've never been on the Wonder, so and we haven't been on the Dream in a couple of years. So I had some notes about this kind of interview that they do before the
yeah.
Golden Mickeys. So I talked to Brooklyn and I was like, did you want to go and kind of be interviewed? So we actually headed down and waited in line, and they had the red carpet. They have fake photographer people out there kind of pretending like you're a celebrity, and boom, they bring you right in front of the theater, and the host will ask Brooklyn a bunch of questions. Where are you from? Your favorite Disney character? And what's happening is they're actually live streaming that into the Walt Disney
Yeah,
Theater.
yeah, they
S-
are.
So I was lucky. I actually just recorded her right then and there. So if you don't have I was gonna say, if you just for parents that want to know, to either go into the theater and record it on the screen or record it right there. But what the fun part was is when we actually then made our way into the theater, she would get greeted by all these kids saying hi Brooklyn, and we saw you on the screen, kind of actually making her feel like a little celebrity, and then she was remembered for the rest of the sailing. So it was such a little something small and special that we never got to experience before, that I would definitely recommend for any of your kids that wanted to get a little something special.
Yeah, I always say, you get the opportunity during cruise to become cruise famous, whether it's winning a trivia, singing a karaoke song, things like that. I will say, because that happened to us. Like, we had a podcast cruise where they did the Gold Mickeys years and years ago, and we were all in the theater. Emily, Scott's daughter, and Mallory, my daughter, go to get popcorn right before the show. We're like, go ahead, we don't care. We're on a cruise ship. We're great dads, right? Boom! All of a sudden, they're up on the screen getting interviewed. We're like, "What are they?" They went to get popcorn, and they're with the lady, the lady holding the Oscar or whatever out in
Yep.
the lobby. We're like, "Oh, there's a kids." Well, okay, because they're hams. But yeah, it was one of those things. And again, they're cruise famous there for the rest of the cruise. And we're trying to avoid being cruise famous for other reasons.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah, unsuccessfully for the rest of the cruise. So, yeah, did you guys enjoy the Gold Mickeys? Please,
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yep. It was a lot of fun to experience that, since we haven't seen it in quite some time.
good stuff. All right,
Mhm.
we talked dinner show. Yeah, what do you
Mhm.
guys kind of close out your night? Like, I
Mhm.
always have to have pizza and ice cream.
Yep. That's exactly. So we would go up and get some pizza, some soft serve, or we would order some chocolate chip cookies and milk to the room and get settled in for the night. And then I would fill out the continental breakfast card for the following morning. Where Sarah and I are big coffee people, so we'd get a coffee craft, couple bagels, some fruit, something to make it easy in the morning. Then I'd run up to Cabanas or Marceline Market and grab like one or two plates of food for us to eat in the room while we're getting ready.
Rock on. Let's talk day. Did you guys
Yep.
early risers do anything super early? Just kind of ease into the day. Day two, what's up?
Yeah, day two would well yes, day two is our lookout day. So uh there wasn't really too much in the morning besides our standard breakfast. With the taking a little while to get there. I don't think the island opened up. I think according to my notes, we got there a little before 10, so got cleared close to 10 o'clock. So we were off pretty early and got to enjoy the walk on the pier. Luckily, it wasn't too hot or anything like that. So made it to the tram. Took the tram to the one and only stop. Remember to grab your towels once you get off that tram. That is the only place you can grab towels for the island. And then in the past, we went left towards True True 2 barbecue. This time we went right towards Scuttle's Cove, which is the kids area, towards True True barbecue, and found some loungers on the beach and just enjoyed the beach all day.
It's beautiful. A lookout is just it's chill. I mean, not
Mhm.
the Castaway isn't, but I found lookout to be just tranquil. Maybe it was just because I don't know. Maybe I was just in more chill day, a chilled mood that
Yeah.
day. But it was.
Yeah.
I will say the day we were there, they had the beach closed for a little bit because they thought they saw a shark. But
Oh,
that's not typical.
right. Yeah, I wish that we could be there longer, or even,
Same,
you know,
same.
or have I know you don't want the same barbecue for dinner or anything like that, but it would be awesome to be able to have something special, or staying overnight or something like
Oh,
that at
yeah.
some of the private destinations slash islands. Unfortunately, this time we didn't get to really experience any of the Bohemian extras, as far as like the Junkanoo parade, or any of the characters and costumes. We really just laid on the beach and enjoyed that.
Yeah. I mean, you can't do it all. I mean, even though it's like, oh well, it's cruises, we're gonna do it all. You can't. So,
Mm.
okay, so this pirate night for you guys? Because lookout.
No, I think next night was. Oh no, that was Pyro Night. You're right. Yep, that was Pyro Night. Yep.
How much do you guys do it all up or no?
We have, yes. So my wife and I have matching shirts that we've worn over the years. She also has a costume if she wants to wear, and then Brooklyn has had a couple different costumes over the years, so she likes to dress up. We'll definitely use the. I have a collection of the bandanas over the years, so I'll bring some of the OGs that we've got years ago and the ones that they're currently giving out now to mix and match. Um, so yeah, we'll do something a little special with the Pirate Night. As far as uh, as far as the show for later, we actually were a little tired, so we skipped. Which Beauty and the Beast is one of my top two favorite Broadway shows. We actually hung out in the room and rested and watched it on our stateroom TV. Which,
Good call.
FYI, all the Broadway shows, while they're being shown in the Broadway theater, can be watched on your stateroom TV. They are not the current show; it was a previous recording, but just in case you find yourself in your stateroom, or you're not sure if your kids would make it through a whole Broadway show, pop it up on the TV and get to experience that.
Nice. No, I
So
was wondering because with kids too, like pirate nights, it's a different beast if it's just a bunch of adults
mhm,
because it runs later, right, for the fireworks and
mhm,
stuff like that.
yep,
But they do have kind of the family kind of pirate show earlier, and then
mhm,
the kind of the more not adult, but the Buccaneer Blast.
yeah,
It
Buccaneer
starts,
Blast,
it
yep.
starts like at 10:15. So you rested up. So how did that whole night unfold between dinner and getting to see try to make it through everything with kids?
Yep. So after dinner, we like I said, we headed to the room, and then we around 9:30. I usually go up and try to save uh, a spot along same spot.
Mhm.
One deck above the pool on our starboard side. So I actually headed up at 9:30, and the reason why I chose 9:30, like, oh, why you did 9:30? Because the show will get out at 9:45. So I try to beat the rush and just get myself a soda or an ice cream or chicken tenders. Why not, right?
For all
Uh, while
three,
while
I think.
you while you while I get a good spot, and then wait for everyone to come and join me.
Yep, and always the starboard side
Yep, starboard side. Yep.
on the dream slash
Mhm.
fantasy. Starboard
Yep.
side 11.
Deck 12 starboard side, and
Yeah,
I'll actually usually try to get prop up against one of the large poles that's holding up the aqueduct,
that's a good call.
so that less wind or just
That's
something to
true.
lean up against. So
That's
that's
true.
that's usually my to
That's
go to.
practical. I like that. That's a good call.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, I'm a big dude. People usually don't come around me, so it's one good thing. I try to look. I'm not usually looking menacing, but no, I don't look menacing. I'm friends with everybody. I talk to everybody, and then what I do is I form like a posse by the time the
Yeah.
fireworks are going. So we have like a big party circle. All
Mhm.
right. So now, I mean, does everybody enjoy? I'm sure everybody enjoyed the fireworks.
Yes.
Fun. I mean,
Oh
I'm
yeah, we love the
not
firework. I
happily
still
ever
have.
but it's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I still have a photo of probably that sailing from 2018, with Brooklyn and Jake in Sarah's lap with like glow sticks. And I tell Sarah, I can remember that pirate show so much. That was when Mickey would go from one funnel to the other funnel on a zip line across the whole way, and just them blasting the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song. Like, it was just a core memory of mine. So, we absolutely love the Pirate Night. On one of our previous sailings, we actually didn't make it to the show, but we went out on a veranda, and it was nice because we actually could hear the music where it's kind of quasi plumbed through the area, so you got to experience kind of like a private showing of the fireworks. That was something that was different that I enjoyed.
I've never done that. That's a good idea. Okay, so let's talk
Mhm.
about the third day because I want to get
Mhm.
into that, and then I kind of want
Yep,
to talk about in general some of your ideas on the cruise line. Okay, so tell us about.
sure. So this was Nassau. So Nassau means our Apollo brunch day on a 3 night sailing. I was very excited to get to have Ben experience this. He's a foodie like myself, so I gave him the laundry list of what should we get. So we all got a bunch of different dishes to try and sample. My go-to is always the secret menu pizza, the grape and gorgonzola. We got half of that on the flatbread, and then the sun-dried tomato. We split the lasagna, the chicken breast,
Now we do
and I
the same thing.
believe.
That's exactly what I get. We'd be sitting at the same table.
Yeah. eh, yeah. We don't eat any of the waffles or the pancakes. We actually tried the waffle one time, and yes, it was delicious, but man, it fills you up so much that you don't have
Does.
room for the good stuff. And then we split a couple of the desserts. We got the warm chocolate fondant. We got the Italian zabaione and the chocolate raspberry tart.
Oh, why are we not there right now?
Yeah.
It's so
Yes.
good. Yeah, that's one of those things like what ideally, I know it's hard to like get the
Mhm.
reservation time that you're looking for. You just kind of take what you get a lot of times with
Yep.
college lunches.
Absolutely.
It's high demand. But when I'm able to like see a lot of times, like I try to hit it like at like 10-ish.
Mhm.
But man, because I run every morning on the treadmill, like first thing as soon as the census opens at 6. So I'm starving by then. But I mean that plays into my favor because then I'm like, let's go. Like
Mhm.
bring everything. Like put it on the table and let's get this show on the road. But it is one of those things like, man, like what do you think's the ideal time? Like do you eat earlier,
Mhm.
later
Yeah.
for brunch? What do
We're,
you
we do 11 because I find that that allows us to have
like a
a
continental breakfast?
coffee in the
Yeah.
morning, have Brooklyn eat a little something, get changed, drop her off at the kids club, eat, and then get her. We kind of have her yes time. So when we pick her up, it's where do you want to eat? Where do you want to do? Most of the times it's pool, and I'm getting her a hot dog and some French fries. This time the weather was bad, so we actually went back to the room and we ordered room service. So I find that 11 o'clock is our sweet spot. But you're like me, like on our booking window. I'm like yes. Okay, there's a time. Yes, done. Like
Yeah,
submit.
seriously.
I don't. I'm like,
Whatever you
oh,
say, like,
sorry,
just
it's
something, yeah.
8:30 in the morning. Sorry, but we'll
That's
take
how I
it.
feel. That's like, dude,
Yeah,
4:15 a.m. Let's
yeah.
go. Like, I'll be there. Like
Mm,
it's not ideal, but if you're
mm.
serving me that chicken parm, let's
Eh,
go.
absolutely, absolutely.
I'll meet you wherever you got to be.
Yeah.
So okay, so and that kind of just like leads you into like the whole day just is chill after Palo brunch.
Mhm,
So full, you're just so happy, like you're just floating kind of through the day. And
mhm.
so Nassau Day, you don't get off the ship, correct? Like you just stay.
Yeah, yeah, we didn't do anything this
Okay.
time. We offered to Ben if he wanted to go off. He's a cigar aficionado, so he talked about a couple shops that he wanted to possibly stop at, but he decided he doesn't have he passport. He has a birth certificate, and then there was a name change. So he has a lot of documents to kind of carry to get on and off the ship. So I think that with the amount of time we had left, and also early on in the day, we had Brooklyn's Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. So I don't think there was enough time to get off the ship and explore as much as he would have liked. So we decided to all just to kind of stay on.
And that last day, you want to like absorb as much, at least me, like I want to absorb as much ship as I can. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I'm there for the ship is
Yes.
more than anything else. Like I want the ship. Like I love the ship. So let's talk about Bibbidi Bobbidi real quick
Uh
because
huh.
my girls are so old now. Besides not forgetting the shoes, which
Yes.
you know what?
Hmm.
I did that at Walt Disney World one time. It's so funny. Like we have so much in common here. So is it like any tips? Because
Yep.
I wouldn't even know at this point.
Yeah.
Help people out.
So a couple different based on our experiences. We'll uh, for as far as your kid bringing either a list costume or princess costume or whatever the child wants to get dressed up into, just in case they don't have either the size or the outfit that your child wants. Always have that backup with you. Um, because you can use your own dress or your own outfit. You don't have to purchase the one from Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. The other thing is if you don't see a time that you wanted, they do hold back reservations. So once you're on the ship on embarkation day, go there and look for your time slot that works out well for you. And the last thing that we've learned over the years is I've always tried to give a monetary tip to the uh something in training, godmother in training. And I've read online, I've tried to figure out the codes, the cracks. I've not gotten anywhere. So what I actually do is I take a photo of the person's name tag and I mention them in the end of sailing survey to make sure they get credit for the phenomenal job that they did.
Good call. And
And,
on cruise line, especially on cruise line, that goes so far because
mm,
I mean, especially your serving team and in the restaurants will tell you that. Like they'll start telling you that on like night two of the cruise. You're going to get a survey the last night of the cruise. Please, if there's anything I can do to make your experience better, let me know because I need to get high marks on my survey.
mm,
But I mean, that's for everybody on the ship. So
mm,
that is, I'm glad you brought that up. That's super
mm.
important for the entire crew.
Yeah, and one last thing with the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is if you're not sure which night Pirates Night is on your sailing, when your booking window opens, you'll see Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique as a pirate league. So you'll know that day they're not doing anything princess, and you'll also will know that's your pirate night.
Good call. Okay, so now the last night, that shorter sailing last night, I'm
Mhm,
always kind of like, oh man, it's so fast. So, are you guys throughout this cruise playing any like trivia's or going to any karaoke's? Like, 'cause that's the kind of thing
mhm,
I like the most. I've said this many times on the podcast is that I love the small events, the
mhm,
TOEFL trivia's, the stuff like that, where you just go and do the stuff you can't do in the world any other times. Like,
mhm.
do you guys do any of that kind of stuff on the ship at any point?
On other sailings, with it not being 3 nights, we will do a couple trivias or see a movie in the movie theater, or even just enjoy the live music down in the atrium or the Grand Hall. But with it being a dream class ship, there's one thing that we always do no matter what, and that is the beautiful midship detective.
Yep. Good call.
So on our final night, we ringed up the Muppets and went. First, we did all the aft stops, and then went to the front of the ship, did all the forward stops, anything in between. Make sure you take photos of the bulletin boards throughout the case. That way, you could always refresh back just in case you need some more clues. But that's what we did on the final night. We did the Midship Detective Agency.
And that is a good way to burn off all those calories from
Mhm.
Palo Ranch because you are all over
Yeah.
that ship when you do that.
Oh,
It's
you are. Yes.
good. They
And
should-
it's fun. It's a blast. I wish we've Brooke and I have done. I think it was on the Wish. We did the new one, the Uncharted Adventure, and we did some of it. We didn't make it to the end, but I'm kind of excited to try this new one that's on the Treasure and the Destiny, the Happy Haunts, where you have to chase nine ghosts throughout the ship. Kind of similar thing, but different. So I'm excited to try that in our future Destiny sailings. But yes, the Midship Detective Agency, it is awesome.
Yeah, my wife and I tried to do the one on the Destiny, and we couldn't get the first one to get started with our Magic bands and our Disney bands, and we're just like, that's okay.
Yeah, I've heard you I've heard you need like the most recent firmware update
That
and a
could be it.
fully charged watch.
Yeah, that's probably it
So
too. I'm usually
yeah,
half charged and not updated, so that's
yeah,
probably
yes.
we were two adults. We were just looking for Santa Claus. It was
Yeah.
in December. We were not paying attention because we get
Mhm,
what's going on here, and like we even asked a
mhm,
couple of crew members. They're like, I don't know. It's a new ship. It shouldn't be
mhm.
broke. They said it should be broken. We just got this thing. It was like
Yeah.
2 weeks. I was like, I know it's a brand new ship, right? They're like, yeah. Anyway, so okay, so awesome cruise. Now I want
Mhm.
to pick your brain here. For we got
Mhm.
about 5 minutes left, and
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
are like a Disney cruise line expert. You've been on these ships.
Mhm,
So I just like to hear people's opinions because there's no right or wrong answer. And Scott and I mean, you don't even know, but Scott and I
mhm.
talk Disney Cruise Line nonstop because
Yeah.
we say a Disney cruise is the best Disney vacation out there because when I talk to my guests about this at the Magic for Less and just friends, just people that I've taught with or people that I
Mhm,
see at Mallory's basketball games, football games, whatever, cheerleading, I tell them when you take a Disney cruise, here's the simple nuts and bolts of it. It's like staying in
mhm,
a deluxe hotel at Walt Disney World. It's almost
mhm,
like eating in almost like signature restaurants, not quite signature, but fancy restaurants.
mhm,
You're getting really nice service. I mean, like Walt Disney World level service plus, better than
mhm,
Walt Disney World service. And you're going every day to awesome places with palm trees, with sand
mhm,
under your toes. I mean, how can and you're seeing like world class entertainment. You're seeing these, like you said, Beauty and the Beast shows, Golden Mickey's. You're seeing, a Disney Dream. You're seeing
mhm,
all these great, amazing shows. Hercules the musical now. I mean, they're just all coming out with all
mhm.
these great shows.
Oh yeah.
Moana, and in between that, you get to do all these things you don't get to do in the real world. You get to sing karaoke, you get to play trivia, 80s music trivia. That's my jam, but
Mhm,
y'all get to do that in the real world. And you get to have this you mentioned it, disconnected time with your family, which you just don't get any other time. It's the best. And so that's kind of what you've dedicated your website to, but just personally, you've done 15 or so cruises.
mhm,
Like what ship stands out to you the most? Like if Disney called you today and said you get to go on one ship, let's not talk about itinerary, but ship. Like what
mhm.
ship would be your ship you would pick?
Yeah. So my favorite is the fantasy. And the reason
Oh,
why is my wife. We've been on it a couple of times. We did it back when it was on its 7 night sailing, but my wife and I did our honeymoon on a 8 night sailing on the fantasy, and there's just so much beautiful memories of that ship. I feel like the Europa, the adult lounges in that area are just are awesome, very good with theming. Um, the restaurants are top notch. I like the size of the fantasy. Um, so I feel like she is my number one ship.
nice. Okay, so what itinerary, even if you haven't done it, like and I
Mhm,
still haven't done this one, my bucket list itinerary is the Panama Canal. Like,
mhm,
gotta do it. I've seen it. I've seen it for years on the Love Boat. That's my favorite TV show of all time, Love Boat. And ever since I saw that show, that episode, a couple episodes, like a three-parter, I've wanted to do it. And I mean, Disney Cruise Line does that itinerary every year,
yep.
eastbound, westbound. Like I want to do it. So what's your like bucket list itinerary with Disney Cruise Line?
Mhm. So we have a couple that I have a document called future future vacations that basically every summer I kind of have what I hope as a family we could do with Disney Cruise Line. So my big plan for 2027 is an Alaskan sailing on the Wonder. 2028 is to do a European sailing. So right now, I think my dream, based on all the research that I've done, is the Alaskan sailing. There's a couple of port adventures that I'm really excited and hopeful that I'll get to pick. And I think with it being on the Wonder, first time we'll be on her as the ship. And I feel like when I think Alaska, I think the Wonder. Like I know the magic is there now, but 7 night on the Wonder in Alaska. That's my dream itinerary right now. That I have exactly what a couple staterooms I'm looking forward to booking when we're looking to booking. So that is my dream itinerary right now.
That's a good. I also want to do the. I haven't pulled the trigger on Alaska yet. My wife still says when she cruises, she wants to see palm trees, and I'm kind of the same way, especially in the wintertime. Like I just can't book an Alaska cruise this time of year. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be anywhere cold at all, for real, ever. But maybe if I got to when I book that, it has to be in July when it's 100 degrees. Like, okay,
Mhm.
more cold. You
Oh
get
yeah.
it. You're in Nashville.
Yep.
So last thing. Okay, so as we close out here, and then we'll
Mhm.
real quick, because you do this all, you talk to people more than I do, probably evangelizing for Disney Cruise Line. What would
Mhm.
you tell somebody? Like, I just kind of gave my reasoning as to why I like Disney Cruise Line so much. Scott and I going back and forth, but and you've said this already on the show a couple times. But what advice would you give folks that are just looking into Disney Cruise Line, like
Mhm.
families, just maybe couples?
Yep.
What would you tell them? Like, why Disney Cruise Line?
Yep. So I think Disney Cruise Line is there's a sailing and a ship for everybody. Uh, because it is a Disney based company, your sailings don't have to be overwhelmingly Disney filled. You also can, we like to call it a choose your adventure, where it's perfect for a multi-generational sailing where grandma and grandpa could take the kids, the parents could have their adult time, or each parent could have their own special time with each kid individually. So you have that benefit of having a choose your own adventure with the onboard activities being offered, whether it's drawing, trivia. You talked about karaoke. Anyone can cook, towel folding. So there is just tons and tons of things to do. On top of that, the idea with Disney Cruise Line having rotational dining, where your staff, your servers become a part of your family. Like
100%.
first night, I learn about their family. They learn about our family, and each night going forward, we look forward to seeing them. I love seeing the little crayon tricks that they do, the little origami that they make, and just the smiling on their face, getting to interact with them and learn the menu from their perspective and what they love and what brings them to Disney Cruise. I love hearing, oh, we've been on this ship, and oh, I've been with Disney for this number of years, or hey, I'm earning my ears and I came from another ship and this is amazing. And it's I really get to there's so many different facets. Even the stateroom host, they see your cables for all the stuff that you're charging, and they bring in those little cords and tidy it up for you, and they put the chocolates on. And if you have a child that's a big Frozen fan, my daughter one night had Frozen sheets in her berth, and those are just, it's all these little things that altogether comes as a vacation. And I do find Disney Cruise Line is a relaxing vacation. There is some planning that does need to be done before, if there's certain things you want to do. But there's also the availability of doing a lot of stuff once you're on the ship. You might not have all the offerings, but you don't have to go crazy planning a million things. It's really up to the pace that you want to experience.
That's well said. I think it's an active, relaxing vacation, because
Mhm.
there's a lot to do, but you can do as much as you want or as
Mhm.
little as you want. You can sit in a chair for 12 hours if you want, or you can get up and do all that stuff. That's fun, but you get to pick and choose. Like you say, in embarkation, when you're at sitting at Port Everglades, getting ready to get on ship, connect to the Wi-Fi, heart a bunch of stuff. Like, this looks fun. And then when it comes up 15 minutes early, hey, this is getting ready to start. Just make your
Boom.
call. I'm going to go to that, or I'm forget that. It looked like fun, 2 days ago. I'm just gonna sit here and sit in the sun. It's a beautiful day. That's a cool thing about cruising. No stress. It's great.
Yeah.
Last thing, I gotta ask you one last question. I told you we're up against the top of the hour, but do you do the duck thing? Do you collect the duck? Do you chase the ducks?
So early on, we would definitely collect the ducks. The last couple of times, we've actually found them and we'll re-hide them. On the last cruise, there was a door, a couple doors down that had a mailbox on
Yes.
the door. I saw it's on Etsy if anyone wants to
Yeah.
buy it. But they had 3D printed ducks in there that were awesome. They had it was a yellow duck that had Mickey ears on. So we took one of our ducks that we had and exchanged it. Now that sits on my coffee every morning that I get to see. But I would say the amount of ducks we've seen has definitely decreased over the years, but my daughter's always looking for them. On one of our sailing, we actually found a tiny baby Yoda that
Oh,
was
yeah.
3D printed. So we're, we always are looking for it when we're taking the stairs, and then we find fun places to rehide them.
Like, I found 27 ducks or duck-like things on the Destiny on our last cruise.
Wow.
I found a penguin on a skateboard and a Jesus Christ. Yeah. So I mean, just hint. Look around you're right. Look around the elevator bays. Like, it became a thing. I'm super competitive. I don't know. Like, and I'm gonna see. I'm new to the duck thing. I know it's been going on for like a decade, but I'm gonna start hiding them because I'm into this. Because now I'm like, I tell Pam every time after dinner every night. I'd be like, dude, we're going duck hunting before the show.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going duck hunting. I'm like, yeah, we're going. Like, we're looking for the ducks. I just love it. So, anyway, Chris, man, thanks for coming on the show. It's been so much fun, especially here in the dead of winter, to talk some cruising. And tell everybody one more time where they can swing by and see your site, because this is the best time in the world to talk cruising and to check out all the resources you have for everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. It's the website again is DCL Cruising Dad, and that's the same on all the socials. And if you like to watch informational videos on each ship, I have a YouTube channel, DCL Cruising Dad 2022, where I basically put the photos from the ships and have different playlists based on each ship that we've been on. So that's where you could find me. And if you're interested in any of my stateroom magnets, shoot me an email and I'll set sail one to your way.
All right. We'll be connecting with you and checking it all out. So again, Chris, thanks for taking the time, and happy February as we plow our way through the winter here in the Midwest, Mid-South.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're standing by to help you plan an amazing Disney cruise. Don't forget, when you book your cruises with us here at the Magic for Less, you get a nice onboard credit waiting for you right there in your account when you get on board. You can use that for fun stuff like spa appointments, tastings, port adventures, whatever you like. Just don't use it for your tips, because that's boring and I'll find you. That's not cool. You could, but it would not be cool. Just come on over to the website, themagicforless.com. Fill out the quote. We'll take care of you from there. It costs you nothing extra, so you're leaving money on the table, and you don't do that. It's coming over again, themagicforless.com. There's also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. When you do that shopping, just click through there. Takes you right back to the page. And finally, become a patron of the show. $5 a month is all it costs. And when you do that, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Thanks to everybody who does that already. And we'd appreciate if you would do that this week. Again, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can follow me on the socials. I'm at beourguestmike on Instagram, x.com, and Threads. You can join us in our clubhouse. That's our Discord server. It's there for everybody. We have a good time talking Disney 24/7. It's the most friendly Disney community out there. Come on over, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. And finally, we will have a live call-in show. Yes, we will. This Sunday night. Sorry, we're recording a little bit into the future. I had to think about what day it is, but we will have a live call-in show this Sunday. It'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Scott will join me. We'll take your calls. So join us there. We'll have a good time. So for Chris down in Nashville and Mike here in Missouri, you guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Good stuff. Boy, that sounds good. I have the news on, and considering the forecast we're both looking at.
Oh, yeah.
I'd take any ship right about now, for real. That's good stuff. So I hope everybody goes and checks it all out. And you stay in touch, because we got to get on ship at the same time, because it sounds like we do all exactly the same stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then you got to do you have a form? Because on that in
I
the
do.
February sailing, I'd love to just I like to pay back. I don't necessarily do like the whole Patreon stuff, but I like to
Oh,
give back in different ways. So I'd like to
that'd be
have
cool.
you help me book one of my sailings.
Yeah, just shoot me an email. Or you got my email. Just I'll shoot you an email. Just I'll do it when I get back from the basketball game. I
Yeah,
got
no
I
problem. No
got
rush.
Yep, I'll get it to you, and then you just sign it, and I'll get it. I'll put the instructions. It's super simple. It's one form.
I
It
got you.
has to be hand signed because I can't do it. Because otherwise, it gets
I'll
flat.
take care of it. Don't you
Okay,
worry.
if I do it, they'll cut me loose. Okay, I gotta run.
Awesome.
I gotta edit this and go
Thank you.
basketball. Okay, I'll see you,
I'll
Chris.
see you later.
All
Bye.
right, take care. Bye.